This is always a tough exercise for me because we do a lot, you know? I mean, the scope of responsibilities is fairly significant. And so it's tough, it's kind of a tough exercise to pin down just a few things, kind of a few areas of focus, because sort of, you know, we don't have the luxury of saying one thing's a priority over other, because everything's a priority. So trying to strike the balance of like, you know, I don't want this to be a job description. I don't want it to be things that we have to do, but also to say that there are some things that simply just take up a significant amount of time that have to be part of my annual kind of focus. You can never do enough, right? As far as enhancing the quality of communication, the relevancy of communication, and just in general trying to kind of raise the level of transparency around our work with the community. And especially within my first couple of years here, there's a lot more work that I want to do in this area. So I just wanted to continue it from last year. One of the major things we're doing, which is just under the action items, we're set to roll out a new website. We hoped to hit September 1, did make it. Our new target is October 1. But we will be rolling out a brand new website, a brand new app. We'll have a North Attleboro Public Schools app, which is going to be slick and really easy to use and efficient for communication purposes. And that's also going to be our new notification system. Student learning, this was interesting. We had a lot of discussion about this internally, or at least I did. Maybe I talked a lot about it, but even though this is under the umbrella of student learning, you'll see that this, I'm going to read it. The goal is to assess current practices and implement changes to ensure a safe, supportive, and inclusive environment for all students. And this, the umbrella here is inclusion, belonging, our work around social emotional learning. And the reason I put it under social emotional learning is, you know, more and more, and we've talked about this in various contexts, our kids can't really achieve academically if they don't have a foundation of, if they're not healthy, if they're not prepared to learn, if they don't have the coping tools they need to deal with kind of what things life throws them. So even though it's, I'd say a softer kind of approach to like a student learning, like, you know, not referencing test scores, I'm not referencing metrics. I don't know of any more important work that we can do right now as a school department. We have had a significant amount of turnover. We have, without exaggeration, had 100% turnover in staffing from when I came to North Attleboro to today in the business office. So with change comes opportunity, but we have, I'd say, decades of work and processes that we're trying to both streamline and create more efficiencies and improve. And then the final one, again, and this is why I alluded earlier, I said, you know, I don't want this to be about a job description and just a list of responsibilities, but this is about engaging with MSBA to meet the requirements of the eligibility period. It's a 270-day sprint, and I couldn't imagine having goals without just articulating that has to be the core of my work this year, and a lot of my attention personally needs to be focused on this, as well as our central office team. So, you know, I don't know if you have any opinion on that or not, but it's kind of a big deal for us this year, so that's why I wanted to put it as one of my kind of 2 district improvement goals. That's that. I'd be glad to answer any questions or provide clarification. And what we'll do on this too is report out, you know, mid-year and kind of how we're doing and where we are. Because we're not going to hit all these, you know, we're not going to hit all these targets. And then obviously we do an end-of-year goals process and evaluation with the committee.